Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for Bitcoin. Now, before I get into the update, just wanted to show you what we were looking for on the last video. Quick 15 seconds here. So I'd have this as some sort of ABC as a expanded flat. We get our X and perhaps a zigzag, A, B, and it looks like we might need one more push to the downside to complete that. But what's most important here is the reaction at these levels. You see, it doesn't quite look like we've bottomed yet unless we... All right, so that was off last video. That was at the 1-to-1 there, and we ended up getting that push down we were looking for and the fast reversal. That's why it's important to pay attention to the reversal signals. We want to see a fast movement, breaking structure, etc. Perhaps the bottom hit of a trend line as well, all lined up, and we ended up getting that. So most important thing in this count for me is protection of this W wave. You can see in red here, I've ticked off. Currently have this as a running flat and looking for 5 waves up to complete our 5th wave of a 3rd wave on the larger degree. So as you can see, we just jumped off the bottom of this trend line here, and now we've reversed. And we have hit a 1.618 extension. I don't have these labeled yet, but obviously looking for this to be a 1-2, 3rd wave up to the 1.618, looking for our 4th right here at 382, hold the 50, and looking for a 5th wave up right there between 69,630 and 70,587. You can see right around our all-time high again. That's what we want to see to get a 5-wave move and get confident on a setup over here after the correction. So that's how we keep the count intact. Now, I also mentioned last video that this could have been our top over here as a diagonal. This would be our 5th wave in the 3rd, in which case we would expect this to be the first leg down in something much more larger of a correction. And the important thing is what happens now. If this is just an ABC, because we only have 3 waves, right? If we start coming down and validating levels, we have to consider the fact that this is more likely corrective than completing a move to the upside. And what that would look like is we'd be currently correcting this entire move. So we'd expect this to kind of drag out a little bit, and we'd get a 3-wave move here, ABC. This would probably become more complex. This would be an A, B, C, or W, X, Y down to here. Then we get a matching leg there. Make a correction in a trend channel here, sideways channel, and then come down. Something like this. And I say that because, as you know, if you watch my videos, I always talk about time fibs. So this would end up looking for a 618 to the or 1-to-1 in time. Again, B waves or X waves are tough because there's no time limitation. They can go on and on and on, but I still use it as a guideline. So we would expect this to drag out if this fails a little bit longer, not just drop off a cliff or anything. And I'm hoping this doesn't happen, but just making you aware. And at this point up here, I'd be interested in a short. I'm not really looking to trade the short currently. So that's what I look for in the bearish scenario. And in that bearish scenario, remember, we topped over here as a 5th wave, as a diagonal. Although I'll give it wasn't the prettiest diagonal because it kind of goes against guidelines, but still technically valid. So what I want to see currently is one more push to the upside, because then we can get probabilities on our side that we at least have an A wave up, preferably a wave 1, but we would expect at least another move to the upside after, as long as we get 5 up, right? Because it either is the beginning of something or the end of something, and this doesn't really look like a flat. This looks like 5 waves down. So we'd be starting a new correction or the new impulse to the upside. Current targets for that 5th wave in the bullish scenario. Go out to the 4-hour. and it's on linear. Looking between the 1.618 and the 1.786, and that is between 70,497 and 81,541, depending on our pivots on this current wave. If we end up getting those 5 waves, I'd have to adjust those pivots to see where they would be. So I ended up scalping this. We'll see if I get my entry. I have my entry literally at the 382 at 60. I think it was on log. I have it. Yeah, 65, 794-ish. I might miss it. We'll see. And I have my stop just past the 50. And I'm just targeting the 200, the closer of the two. We'll see when the wave pans out. But it was just a nice little trade setup, 4-to-1. On kind of a 50-50 situation, right? Just using guidelines, we should hold the 50. Invalidation is actually overlapping the wave 1 at around 64,300, but I'm going with guidelines with this one. It just gives me a better risk reward than putting it down here, right? Get about twice as much. Not financial advice, just what I'm doing. But we'll see if I get stopped out and we overlap. Again, I would consider this probably making a larger correction up before we actually come down. Top was over here, and this is our first wave down in a larger correction. All right, guys, so that's what I'm looking at. Thanks for watching. I'm going to update some other ones today as well, and I'll see you on the next one.